Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. Welcome back. Another question: how is contemplation more effective than meditation? And what's the difference between meditating and contemplating? Thank you for asking the questions. I appreciate it. I've heard similar questions before, and it often comes up. So then, let's take a look. How is contemplating more effective than meditating? It seems useful to first address effectiveness before we proceed. Effectiveness is determined by, take a look. I'm going to assert some stuff, and then you take a look. Effectiveness is always determined by your purpose for the interaction. So effectiveness is never set, and effectiveness can be different for different people. It is the only way effectiveness gets to arise is in relationship to something else. Usually, your purpose for the interaction, right? Like right now, am I being effective at eating food? No, I'm not. Why? Because that's not the purpose here. You see, or if my purpose was eating food right now, I would be failing at that, hence ineffective. That's pretty much it, okay? So now if we get a question like, is effective, like what's more effective, contemplating or meditating, it would be useful to clarify how are we determining effectiveness in the first place. So that's step one in my mind. There do seem to be differences between contemplation and meditation. So I will address the second question, like what's the difference between contemplation and meditation? And it will also likely touch on the first question, what's it effective for? So here are some differences. Meditation is basically, here's what Peter would say about meditation. Peter has mentioned that meditation has its roots in the word medical. And so then usually what happens when people meditate is that they are looking for some kind of relief from something, or to calm the mind, or to focus the attention somewhere, or to be equanimous or some such. Okay? That's what Peter would say. And then I would also, if I consider for myself, echo something similar. It looks to me like when I'm meditating, it's like I am sitting down for the purpose of doing something. And the something that I'm doing usually tends to be what? If I'm getting some sort of meditative instruction. Feel your body. Feel Kundalini rushing up your spine. Imagine you are one with the universe. There's a white light shining down through your body and calming you down. Focus on your breathing and just be present. Let the thoughts come and go. So that kind of stuff. Now, whatever it is that's going on in the meditation is where you will likely put your attention and work on something in that way. Now, I see that as quite different from contemplation in the sense that meditation seems to be achieving some result in my experience that then alters my experience to be usually a better experience. Like we don't meditate on death, destruction, rape, murder. Usually, I'm saying I heard somewhere some Tibetan meditation of to detach from the body. You imagine like your body is getting cut off, right? That's kind of sick. We don't usually do that. Maybe some people do. You can meditate those things. You could meditate really horrible things. You can meditate that. You can meditate insanity. You can also meditate really good things. Now, contemplation, on the other hand, seems to be, for me, it's a directed, it is perhaps similar to meditation in the sense that there is a focusing of the mind, of the attention on a particular aspect. And then what I think contemplation has and meditation does not have is contemplation, at least what I do when I'm contemplating and the world that I'm within, is I want to know and grasp the truth of something now. Contemplation is directed toward me having an insight into the nature of things, me having an insight into some sort of relative aspect of experience or a deeper understanding, not simply altering my experience. You see, in contemplation, I see it often. If I'm really deep in contemplation and I'm really like on track, like going crazy with it, I don't care how I feel. I don't care what comes up. I just want to know the truth of something beyond me, my perspective, even my perceptions. I just want to know. And if stuff comes in, I'm okay, good. Get out of here. No. What's true? What's true? What's true? To a deep level. And during contemplation, I have been through many states of mind, energy, feeling states, emotional stuff, unstable mind, hallucinations, uncomfort, bliss, amazing states of happiness, good and bad, weird, sideways, backwards, you name it, I've been there. And in terms of contemplation, none of that matters. All that matters is becoming conscious of whatever I'm working on. That is the goal of contemplation. So I see those as two very different domains. And those are the differences that I see. And as far as I can tell, often seems to me that people will squish those together and then make them the same thing. And in terms of, since my commitment is clearly to move in the direction of contemplation, because my interest is in grasping something that's true, becoming conscious of something real, or having an insight into the nature of skill or martial arts or movement with my body, or grasping some new aspect of perception so that I can have some facility in that. Contemplation is where I go. And even in workshops, we do use guided meditations, you see? So perhaps this can also assist in the clarification process. In workshops that we do here, literally behind me here and to my left or your right or whatever, we use guided meditations to help focus the mind in a certain direction or help somebody consider something in like a certain area and they move in that direction. Or like running exercises, imagine dropping this, imagine dropping that, imagine dropping this, just paraphrasing, and then see what happens, then communicate what came up to your partner. Like we use those things, or bring to mind something from your past. Now notice that is something from your past. It's not actually happening now, for example. And where is that? And then so using guided meditations to help move somebody in a direction. See, so I am not poo-pooing guided meditation at all. And I'm not saying one is better than the other or one is more effective than the other, because I can't really say that in honesty, because of what I mentioned at the beginning, that effectiveness is determined by your purpose for the interaction. So it's really up to you whether it's effective or not, depending on what you're doing. All right? So those are some differences between contemplation and meditation. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. This is Brendan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. Thank you. Until next time. Ciao.